Hi ladies, wanted to welcome you to my new video. It's on detoxification and why I think it's important for you to start detoxifying on a regular basis. Simply because we are bombarded with a lot of toxins in our environment. Things like pesticides, herbicides, unfiltered water, to the plastics in our containers that we use, and to the foods, the different household chemicals that we use, from the skin products to the shower products to our hair products. And many times women, we are using a lot of chemicals for our hair, things to keep it straight and or keep it curly, dyes, different things that we use regularly. And we also use makeup, and those are not, again, reasons why I think we should detoxify. And more importantly, women tend to have hormonal imbalances due to a lot of the chemicals in the hair products that I had mentioned. And it tends to cause autoimmune problems like Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, prolactinemia, fibroids. There's a video and a paper out on that recently. So again, these are reasons why I think we should be aware of detoxification and simple ways to help your body detoxify on a regular basis. Now, many practitioners believe that it should be done certain seasons, such as the spring, and again in autumn or fall. Spring, because you're now coming out of hibernation and going into a more an area or a time where there's going to be sun, and you're able to go out in the sunlight, walk a little more, swim a little more, do a little more. So your body, so it prepares you when you do a cleanse in spring. Now, if you're going to do it in fall, there is reasons why many believe it's because you're going now into hibernation. So that's an important way to now detoxify, because you're now no longer going to be moving, you're going to be more stagnant. So those are reasons why some holistic or natural practitioners believe that you should do it in certain seasons. Now, however, there are other practitioners, such like myself, who believe that it should be done on a regular basis. Why? Because what I mentioned before, we are in a very, very toxic world. We live, from driving, inhaling a lot of smoke, inhaling secondary smoke, and from the chemicals in foods to the chemicals in containers to the chemicals in the hair products that I had mentioned. So what is detoxification? Detoxification is basically where the waste products or the chemical waste products, toxins in the body, build up over time, causes the body to be a little sluggish, and it's unable to remove all these toxins in various ways that we do, through the skin, through the hair, through exercising, through the digestive system, and then through the urinary system. So there are just different ways to get rid of it. But when it's all backed up, it tends to cause a sluggish situation that goes on, causes inflammation in the body. And many practitioners, or natural that are in the holistic environment, or holistic practitioners believe that it can cause, um, you know, chronic conditions like cancer, to autoimmune conditions that I had mentioned, with hormonal imbalances and building up inflammation, causing even problems with mental or emotional problems like depression and anxiety. So, many of the symptoms now are, can be related to toxin buildup. And if you go to a practitioner or natural health practitioner, they will, believe that this is something that should be done, especially if you're getting symptoms that are related to the buildup in the body. So things like fatigue, low energy, lack of clarity, emotional problems, um, anxiety, depression, nausea, joint pain, weight gain, digestive problems such as bloating, gas, we can go on. And it just affects the various systems in the body due to inflammation. And I had also mentioned the times in which you should detoxify. And it all depends on your body, all depends on how you feel and what are some of the ways that you will do it in order to feel great. So here are some 5 that I feel is, top of the list to start, doing on a regular basis in order to detoxify the body, because it's important to do it regularly. So the first one, I believe, is the infrared sauna, only because it has a great way to remove a lot of the toxins based on the heat that it generates in the core of your body. And then it brings it out to the surface of the skin and is released through the pores of your skin. And it's done in a very particular way, and you can go to a infrared sauna. They do it, and they have a particular temperature. You don't want to go too high because it can really have a negative effect. So it's important to do it at a practitioner's office. Many have infrared saunas, or you can go to just a regular, many places in retreat centers have it as well. So great way is the infrared sauna. Second is foods. I mean, I think it should have been top of my list, but I put it in the second order, and it's really not in the order that I believe food should be number 1. And it should be, try cruciferous vegetables. And some I put here as a list is broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, arugula, kale, bok choy, collard greens. We can go on, but those are ones that you can really get at a health food store or Publix. Make sure it's organic to really help detoxify the body. And it's important to know that if you can't digest your food, raw foods, some people love it raw, other people, with autoimmune conditions or thyroid conditions are told to cook it a little, at least 5 to 10 minutes, just to get the goiter properties out of the cruciferous vegetables. So the third is to, again, limit environmental toxins. A great way to do so is to start using makeup, hair products that can, they have hair products now that are actually on the market that can, that have less chemicals. Some have even no chemicals at all. And I buy shampoos, conditioners, all my hair products that don't have any of the toxic chemicals that are in other products. So you can really get them off the shelf if you just look very carefully. Also, the kitchen faucet is another way you can filter your water in a much different way. You can buy a particular faucet for it. You can also buy a particular faucet for your shower as well, and limit the toxins in that respect as well. You can also use containers that don't have any PBA in it. That's an excellent way to prevent toxins as well, limit your exposure. And it's another one is, fourth is to simply, drink a lot more water. It's a great way to prevent dehydration, because majority of us are dehydrated on a regular basis, majority of us. And drinking at least 4 to 6, I think they say, cups of water a day. You don't have to really drink 8 or even 10, because that might actually be too much. Just drinking water, even with some lemon, even with some vinegar, apple cider vinegar, is a great way to keep the lymph going and help you remove a lot of these toxins naturally. And the fifth way to detoxify naturally is through herbs. I'm going to always mention that. And, I'm going to mention milk thistle. That's a fantastic way. Dandelion. And you can eat dandelion through natural greens, vegetables, or you can get it in tea or tincture. Though, and it's very gentle. I use that a lot, and I use milk thistle a lot through tincture, liquid, or through herbs. I do that quite often. There's also hibiscus tea. It's very warming, and I love it. With some honey. Hibiscus tea is great. Turmeric, as we all know, rosemary, aloe vera, and then I mentioned apple cider vinegar. So, these are some simple ways. I mentioned 5. I'm going to go back and mention them again. I mentioned the infrared sauna. I mentioned some foods, great foods, cruciferous vegetables. I also mentioned limiting your exposure to environmental toxins, drinking a lot more water, and some herbs, and natural foods as well, to reduce a lot of your symptoms that you may be having, and help you detoxify your body a lot more, so you can function a lot better, especially if you have chronic conditions. And if you don't, it's just a great way to prevent any particular condition or disease that might occur later on as you age. So those are my simple natural ways to improve and improve your detoxification and remove a lot of the toxins out of the body on a regular basis. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you next week with my new video coming out. I'm not sure what's going to be on yet, but I will be letting you know, and I'll also be posting my blog as well. and this will be up on the YouTube video. So please subscribe, and so you can get notified of any new videos that come out later on this month. Thanks so much for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.